Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here. And Daisy, yes, one of my favorite and certainly one of your favorite from the comments I'm hearing, four-legged people. So Daisy decided to join us today. And somebody, real quick, I want to tell you, someone asked about her ears, which I tell her she looks like a little bear and her ears make her extra beautiful. But we don't know what happened to Daisy's ears. We don't know if it was frostbite or if somebody tied them back or glued them or something. We really don't know. Daisy, like all of our kids, Daisy's rescue. And so she is one of those kids that's just extra grateful to have a good home. And believe me, she does. That said, let's get on with our messages, shall we? Messages for the week of December 17th to the 23rd, and I'm sorry, let me take these off because I know they throw a glare. So our messages are December 17th to the 23rd. And I want to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Did you know, you do know if you listen to my December video or the video for the month of December, that there are nearly 30 sacred holidays, celebrations in this month. And if you want to learn the story of Dionysius and the ladies with the wine, go and listen to the December video. Okay, I know our dreams get lost in the middle of all this shuffle that's going on and all this stress in our world. And I would love to tell you it's over this week, but actually I'm feeling something is taking place this week here in the U.S., something political and something, not a bombshell, but it's something that's, again, that expecting the unexpected. And so I'm getting, today that I'm videotaping this is Friday, and I have a speaking engagement tonight, so we're dressed for that. But something is taking place, and so kind of expect the unexpected again. But don't let your dreams get lost in the shuffle. Don't give up that hope. Daisy's a very healing animal, and when I'm working with a client, Daisy is usually asleep in a corner of my room. Well, not really a corner, but she's usually asleep on one of her beds in my office. And if someone is in need of either heart healing or financial healing or physical healing, while I'm talking to that client, Daisy will come over and nudge me, a lot like she's doing now, and she'll just insist that I acknowledge her. And so what she's doing now is, for all of you, is she's sending you, I want to show you those ears if I can get, I can't really get them up, but you get the idea there. And so Daisy's sending all of you healing. She's telling you, stand in your power, and your power is joy. Don't give in to the anger, to the stresses. Are we going to give in to them sometimes? Of course we are. We're human. Do I ever get stressed? Oh gosh, no. You know I'm joking, right? I get stressed, of course I do. Anyone who's the least bit sensitive is going to get stressed in the world we're living in today. But keep in mind, creation begins with chaos. And so we're just going through all that chaotic world right now. We are going to get through it. I would like to tell you it's going to be over this week. What I would be telling you is not the truth, however. And in fact, I think it's going to get a little bit tougher before we get through all of this. But we will get through it. And we're going to create a better world. I think it was a few weeks ago, or maybe longer, I'm not sure. But a while back, I said that what will bring down the current administration in the U.S. is women coming forward and talking collectively about rape, sexual harassment, sexual abuse. And yes, it happens to men with women in power as well. But I said at that time that it will be the women who actually cause harm and to this administration. Now, that said, I want to explain that again. The investigation by Mueller and his team will bring the legalities from the money laundering, etc., and the connections with Russia. The legalities will actually bring about an end to the president. But it is the public opinion that will do the most damage. And that is brought on by the feminine energy. Remember, this is the time the feminine energy is rising. See, Daisy's even rising her head there. But this is the time that feminine energy is rising, and the masculine energy wants to keep it down. Now, does that mean that all women carry the feminine energy? That we need that balance. So sometimes it's women. We need the balance of feminine energy and masculine energy. So we women have both, as do men. However, women tend as a whole to have a little bit more feminine energy. Now it takes that masculine energy to step forward. So the masculine energy in that sense is behind the feminine energy. But it's the feminine energy that's rising, and that will bring the downfall of everyone who has really misused their position of power. And, you know, I think there are a lot of men right now, as well as women, who are confused about what is sexual abuse, what is sexual harassment. Well, it's using a position of power over another and using that position of power to get sexual favors. There's nothing loving about that. That is strictly abuse of power. It's about power and violence, sexual harassment is. It's not about love. So if you love someone and you touch them and reach out to them and they are reciprocal of that, you have the start of a loving relationship. However, if someone says no or someone doesn't reciprocate, back off immediately. You know, the only time I've held a lot of hands. I've been very fortunate in my career and in my life to not openly admit or openly be aware of too much sexual harassment. But I remember one time I was out with a group of girlfriends. This goes way back. I was in California at the time. And I've never been able to deal much with my alcohol, so I'm not much of a drinker. And if I'm driving, I won't drink at all. And that night, I do remember I was driving, so I was having a Coke instead of wine, but we were laughing and having a good old time. And this guy walked up to me and asked me to dance, and I said, "Thank you some other time, but thank you." I was nice, but he wasn't going to take no for an answer. And he grabbed my arm, and we were all shocked, and he started harassing me. Even his friends were telling him to leave it go, leave it alone, let it go. It scared me, and it spoiled my evening, and I had to have others walk me to the car to make sure I was safe. I tried to get back into our conversation. I tried to get back into the fun of the evening, but there was a fear behind the rest of my evening, and so I ended up leaving because I didn't want to be anywhere around that guy. Fortunately, I grew from that, and it was the last time I let anyone intimidate or harass me. I learned the power of love. The power of love doesn't stop the bullet, but it might keep us away from where the bullet is. Don't give your power away to anyone. Stay in the power, the most powerful power there is. And that's a place of love. Let's see what Philip has to say for us this week, okay? Oh, I do want to say, this week, the energy is so powerful this whole month, but it's really building and it's really strong. And when that energy is strong, two things happen. One, we can create a lot. It's a perfect time for huge creation, but it's also a time we want to just kind of curl up and into ourselves and say, leave me alone, world, leave me alone. Guard your hearts if need be, but also open them to the beauty and joy around you, because there is quite a bit happening this week. It's also a week of a lot of laughter and some I told you so's. So we'll see what all that means, but let's see what Philip has to say. By the way, thank you all for your comments. I really appreciate them. And for those of you who are new, this is my spirit guide, Philip, and this is an oracle book, and so each page has a different wisdom on it, and so we have to think left page or right page. So thank you for all of those who come back, and thank you for those new folks who have come to join us. Are you thinking left page or right page? Because we're going to see what our message is. And I am hearing from you how very powerful these messages are and how meaningful they are for your life. So let's see what Philip has to say this week. Okay, ready? Here we go. Left or right? Gosh, I'm hearing right. So I'm going to read right, but I'll probably also give you the message on the left because we do that. Okay, here's our message for the week. Is not reality relative to your viewpoint? Is not reality relative to your viewpoint? Just as the words of the fiction writer become real to the reader, as the characters born of imagination become alive and take on their own reality, you also pen the script that is your reality. Let me read that again. Is not reality relative to your viewpoint? Just as the words of the fiction writer become real to the reader, as the characters born of imagination become alive and take on their own reality, you also pen the script that is your reality. We keep saying that, don't we? We're writing our own, we're creating our own worlds. We're writing our own script. Does that mean the outside world doesn't affect us? Of course it does. We can't always change that world out there because it's the collective mind that's creating that world out there. Our personal worlds are also creating the greater impersonal world. And so we're creating a greater world of love. We're creating a greater world of kindness and compassion for all. But it starts with creating it in our own private world. And it makes for a much more pleasant world for us. My reality is very different from someone who's bitter or angry, for example. I don't want to live there. I want to live next to somebody who's joyful and full of love. Let me just read the left side real quick. That which you dream is that which you live, which kind of goes along with what we've been talking about. So my friends, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, which we'll go into next year or next week. But what I want you to know is this week is full of ups and downs. It's going to be full of stresses and excitements. It's kind of one of these, and so is the weather. So get yourself, if you don't have a Daisy to hug, send out your hugs for Daisy. She's right here accepting them. We thank you for being with us. We love you. Daisy loves you. I love you. Love yourselves, my friend. Love yourselves. Have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye. Do you want to say goodbye? We love you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for your messages that love Daisy. She loves it. Thank you. I love you.